because they're looking for answers. They're looking for secrets. Untapped and hidden mysteries of the universe. It's not the sinister thing that you think. This is not a group of individuals who are time traveling. You are diverting your attention onto something else. There are certain things going on involving the time traveling, but it is not CERN to be concerned about. And in fact, the traveling and the time shifting that you're concerned about, technology is being controlled and used by extraterrestrials and Earth reptilians at this time, although we don't see the Earth reptilians using that a lot. There's much fear around this topic, but there's a lot more stability than you may realize. As we are all time travelers and things are always shifting, even what someone may be doing or a group may be doing in one moment or one reality, it doesn't affect you per se, unless you give into the script of that completely and totally, at least within that moment. You have far more control over your reality than you would believe. There are certain things that you and your higher self may have worked out for you as the fractal to experience and for your higher self to guide you through and with, and you may or may not succeed in the original intention, the blueprint of that. But there is far more fear than there needs to be on certain things. One of them being the time traveling. It is not as fragile as you think. It is not like breaking an eggshell. It is far more fluid because everything is happening at one time, everywhere, and everything always was and always will be. So your own consciousness can always bring you back to the here and the now that you want to be in. For example, as a 5D being, if you wanted to pull yourself into being the age of 21, you could experience that. Things are not always experienced in a linear fashion, but they can be understood in that way. It's complex to describe, but it's not like I, as a fifth dimensional being, experience myself bouncing around in different ages, but more like I can move at this point in a somewhat linear fashion, but I am able to pull parts and aspects of myself from the past, present, and future that will help me to determine something. It's like when you have people talking about they can see Akashic records. I am able to perceive with greater clarity different versions of reality and which point I would prefer to move. And different versions of me at different pinpoints of time may choose different things. But I myself, as the Darli of now, may choose a certain reality. So as you see, you can get more understanding and access to what there will be. So it's not like there are no expansions or surprises. It's just how in your third dimensional reality, as you call it, when you are experiencing, imagining yourself in the future, you call them goals or things you want to achieve or attain. But you have less control over seeing things that could happen in the future. For example, if you break your leg, or a death occurs, or you have a child or a mother with special needs you have to take care of, on your way to that intended goal. And sometimes on your way to that goal, you see something offshoot that you connect to more deeply, and you go that way. So this moment that you're on this cusp of 5D understanding and reality, but you still get to utilize great surprises. And sometimes these surprises seem very unpleasant, and other times they seem very great. They are wonderful and enjoyable, and many of us enjoy these surprises through you. You truly are in many ways in the dark and blind, but you're beginning to feel all of these changes. And so right now you feel different realities pummeling at you, and you feel out of control, but you're not. And many of you right now are arguing with each other when all of you truly are having different experiences that are legitimate. You're in different realities, even in the same world, because everything is, you're in a bleed through cycle right now. Things are, you've got the third dimensional reality and the fifth dimensional reality kind of bleeding into each other. 5D coming in to you. And so, of course, with this said, there will be versions of CERN where you are concerned about what is happening. But we would like to tell you that from where we are standing and what we see within the being you call Kalina, in her realm, it's not this way. So there is nothing to be worried about in this respect. But if you choose to pull yourself into a version of reality where CERN is indeed involved, it's going to change this whole story altogether. It'll be quite different than, at least from the point where Kalina is at. And most of you listening would be in this category too. We're not saying that there isn't anything that CERN has done that can create ripple effects. They certainly do. But just you blowing out a candle creates a ripple effect. You've heard of something called the butterfly effect. And don't let this concern you. This is a great honor. This shows how you are like your gods. We all affect each other and impact each other very deeply with even the smallest movement. It's a great honor. It's a dance of life. So we recommend that you find the rhythm within yourselves and dance that way, and you will connect through the timelines you want. This is the way. When you can't see them as well as I can to make choices, you feel your way. It's one of the reasons why you all are literally so musical, rhythmic. We get that too as Arcturians. But you all have this really beautiful, special, rhythmic value about you. Use that internally to find your way. You have a saying called beating to your own drum. Find your drum, your inner drum. Find your rhythm. To the rhythm of your soul, the rhythm of your heart. When you worry about things like the news, about CERN, those are the realities you pull into you. They really are. We know many of you all are burnt out on what you refer to as the law of attraction. We're more talking about the vibration you choose, and you choose your vibration by purposefully feeling what you want to feel. It's not about trying to raise your frequency or even trying to be a good person or judging or anything like that. It's about being honest about who you are, dears, and honing in on that. Really being who you are within your heart. If you are not interested in hurting other beings, you don't want to drag them down for your own self-gain, that is a high frequency, dears. That's a high frequency right there. Your intention is of love. And when you do that, you want to follow that excitement, that dance, where you're not hurting or stepping on others. That is already a higher frequency. So there's a lot of concern about that, a lot of confusion we feel about that. But what we are talking about is finding your unique frequency, because every being has a frequency that is essentially your name, your musical, vibrational name. And you are loaded into the program that is you. We're not being literal about this, we're being metaphorical. You are in the human body, the human concept, your soul, and your mind has been fed all these things, your body's been fed all these things, and we fed all these things. We don't just mean food, but we mean ideas, systems, schooling, your own thoughts, your relationships. And you connect all of that together, and you have this unique opportunity to blend your frequency. And sometimes when you are going against the grain or singing out of tune with who you are, you won't feel good because you're not harmonizing this experience with your true self. That true self that is within, underneath it all. And you'll feel the resonance and the harmony. You'll know when you're in beat and when you're in tune. And when that happens, you are always where you need to begin in your highest desire in that version of you. Because there are different versions of you that have different goals and purposes. Some are more pleasant, some are less pleasant, but you have more control than you believe over shifting into that version of you that you want to experience. Even if you think you're caught up in a bad astrology, you can work your way into a reality where that's good. And oftentimes it's achieved by baby stepping your way into it. Although you can have a massive shift, especially now as you're heading into the 5D reality. And we say heading in, you're already in it, but it's like imagine two universes drifting into each other and intermingling these two 3D, 5D is the dimensions. They're touching and just beginning to merge, blending and blurring. That's why so many of you are seeing so much more activity in the skies and unique things on the ground, and you're seeing more saurian ships and other being ships coming out from the water, because it's not just them being to your physical level as you yourself. You're raising your awareness, your ability to see. Your third eye is awakening in the 5D even more. You don't just have to go to sleep or work so hard to see. It's part of your own personal spiritual evolution. So when you hear things about CERN or hear things that sound scary, even the global changes that are going on, even things regarding climate change, we're not saying you have to sit, do nothing or anything like that, or that you're never going to experience anything unpleasant. We're just saying that things don't have to be as bad as they seem, and often they're not. And if you'll sit still inside, deep within, really feel that safety within yourself. We know it's hard because collectively we all still are feeling the trauma from many galactic wars, not just the Orion Wars, and we've felt the traumas of Earth changes. But we always come through it, and we never experience anything that we don't intend to experience, because we experience all of it. It is the time shifting and timelines is all on a spectrum, and you shift. You, as you now listening to this, can make a personal choice, but also be open to accepting even the unexpected. For as we said, as long as you are connecting to the beat of your own drum, you can be assured that you will be among the most pleasant of realities. And when the unpleasant things happen to you, it is indeed for your greater good. And when you are out of tune and going against your drum, you may find yourself in realities that are less pleasant, and you may or may not pick up on the good and the lessons you can learn from that. We say lessons hesitantly. This is not, we know that it's seen a lot as a school, but it's also really about expansion and remembering and expanding the awareness of what we are all a part of, this grand and divine universe. We love you all deeply. please try not to be so concerned all the time about everything and lose the love and the harvesting of your own self, of your own heart. You have so much to give yourself and to others. And if you worry about everything that is being done in this world and everyone, it will be very hard for you to focus on yourself, dear. Remember, the smallest action, blowing out a birthday candle even, just has such an impact that you would barely believe. We are all amazing. We are all part of this. Be proud of who you are, dear. Much love.